Hey guys, Brian here with Better Chess Training, and we're going to be continuing our Climbing the Ladder series. And today it's a double feature. Played a game against a 1470 rated player on Internet Chess Club. That first game ends somewhat abruptly, so I ended up playing a second game against him. I didn't record the second game, but I analyzed it a little bit or show you the end of the game, second part of the video. So hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Hey guys, continuing on with our Climbing the Ladder series, playing a 1466 rated player, and he's going to play the French defense against me. And let's see, it's been a little while. Trying to play some new openings here. Going to try. What did I play, guys? Let's play the. I'm going to play the exchange variation. Oh, that's kind of not such a great opening, but we're going to try it out here. So bishop to d3, standard opening idea. And I think what I'm going to do here is play. I'm going to play bishop to e2. The idea of playing bishop to f4 to challenge this bishop. So go ahead and do that. Okay. He's kind of mirroring me here. And so I'm going to switch up a little and play. I'm going to go knight to g3. And the idea here is to prevent this bishop to f5 here. I'm going to castle, probably, and see where we go from there. Okay. Standard idea here. So typically, this time over, you might be looking at castle on the queen side. I play this as black as well. Go ahead and protect. Protecting the d4 pawn, which was attacked by the knight. So nice thing about this setup is that a lot of times he'll try to play bishop to g4, but with my knight over here, I can play f3. Okay, I'm going to take up the challenge. It looks like he is going to try to castle queenside. He can still castle kingside here too. Okay, so that looks like what he's going to do. So what do we want to aim for here? We're going to look at some type of queenside attack, maybe. And what do I want to do? I could play a4, just sort of preparing for that. Actually, what I might do is play my knight here to f3. Look at planting it here at some point. So let's do that first. Let's make sure he castles to the queen side before we start attacking. But that's definitely our idea. Okay, and so far so good. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with we're going to start here with b4. And I want to play a4 and just kind of ram these pawns down here. And I'm going to wait to see what to do with my queen to see how he responds. So this is the first time I've actually played this opening from the white side. Played this quite a bit with black. And what black typically tries to do is push these pawns, typically with f6 and then g5. Kind of the opposite of what I'm doing over here. But I'm not sure. We'll see what my opponent tries to do. Of course, I have a little bit of a head start on him, which obviously is nice. Uh, idea that is often played as well is b6, with the idea if I push here, then he'll be able to play to a5. But to counter that, I'm going to play a4 first, then with the idea of playing a5, then play b5. So this is a shaping up to be a typical kind of opposite side castling situation. So this French defense, which Black played, this exchange variation can also lead to sort of a drawish position because you can see it's very symmetrical. But with the queens on the opposite side, as you can see here, we can see there's going to be some fireworks in terms of our play. So Black has to make a decision. Okay, he's going to play here, and his idea here is to exchange. But I actually don't mind if he takes this pawn. I guess I feel like it doesn't really, or this knight, that really helps him very much. So I'm going to keep. Let's see. Should I just keep going with my attack? See, if I take here, then he gets to just develop here. So um, I think I'm going to continue on. A4. He takes here. That's fine. I mean, unless he wants to sacrifice his bishop, well, but I don't think it's really going to do anything too helpful. I would like to get this bishop into the action, maybe, but again, we can wait and see what our opponent does. Okay, he's going to take here. So one idea I had was, can I just take with the F pawn and open up this file? The traditional way would be to take with this pawn. So, but what I like is that typically Black will try to push the H pawn, and it keeps this file closed. So I think taking with the F pawn here, then if he plays F4, I could conceivably just wait for him to attack here, then play G takes H5, and then I'll still have protection on this pawn here. So I'm going to take back with the F pawn. I'm not saying necessarily that that's the best plan, and now I could actually bring my knight over here too for some. Okay, so here comes that H pawn, like we mentioned, and now the idea for me is that I can play this guy right here. So he's getting some counterplay in, but it might not be. If we can stave it off somehow. Okay, hitting my knight. And I respond to that. Well, I can just unpin with queen to c2. Takes, okay, there. Even just take back with the rook. So I like that, queen to c2. So we can see here, I do think that white is doing pretty well, but I don't think black's position is very bad either. And actually, I could even set up here to do some exchanges here on the with knight to h4. Okay, he's going to take. Now, do I take back with the rook or the pawn? Kind of like the rook because then I can set up. Well, actually, you know what? Oh, my opponent. I don't have to take this back, and I hope you can see it. I can actually play bishop to. I can play bishop to f5 here, pinning his queen, and I think that's what I'm going to do. No checks. I think he's just in trouble here. So this could be a fast game, guys. Let's see. Let's see. We're on move 15 here, and I think it could be all over because there's nothing he can block with, and his bishop is out of the way here. So this is why you need to study your tactics, and I'm glad that I didn't play too quickly. I was going to take back with the rook, and now it looks like I'm going to be winning some material. Okay, there, my opponent resigned. A very quick game there. So what can I say? He made a couple mistakes. Okay, since the first game was so short, I want to show you a second game I played against this opponent. And in this game, my opponent played actually quite well, and at one point had probably a winning advantage. However, I was able to fight back, and I kind of want to show you the last position here while the game is still relatively equal. So you can see in this position, material is even, and White's pieces are placed aggressively. My king's kind of out in the open, and my opponent has this idea, which I saw, which was to play this, get this bishop out of the way, and then play this check here with the idea of skewering my king and my rook. And so in this position, it is white to play. And then, so my opponent played bishop to g6. Now, of course, this is a blunder, and I can just take it. And what he didn't see after this check was his bishop all the way over here. I'm able to just come back and block. And then he might have seen that with the idea here that he was going to play rook to f1 check. And then maybe I would play something like 7 and um, something like that. But I'm just able to block here with rook to f6. So at this point, I'm a whole piece up. He takes, I take back with the pawn, and he tries to advance his passed pawn. So in this situation, being up a whole piece, we want to try to do is make the position as simple as possible. So first off, I get my king out of the pin, and I'm able to do it with tempo because he has to move his rook. My next move here, the idea here is that I want to make my pieces as active as possible, but I also want to somehow try to do it in the most efficient way. So I played bishop to d5. Centralize this piece is perfect here, targeting, of course, this pawn. But also, it kind of keeps this rook from getting over to the queen side, okay, which will help me to develop my rook later because I don't have to defend these pawns. My opponent gets his rook over to here, probably with the idea of being able to scooch back. And what I do next is play my rook here with the idea of putting pressure. Now, I didn't think that I would be able to do this, but I was expecting to maybe play something like g4, which is, I still think, very good for me. And at that point, do a lot of things. I could just go back to this open file. I can attack his h pawn, but the idea here is that I'm in control of this game, and a lot of things. I guess it's hard to make a bad move here unless I blunder my rook back or something like that. So go back to the actual game position, and here he just kept advancing his pawn. I think he was hoping to exchange this pawn for this one for some reason. But again, I just simply move out of the way, protecting my pawn. I know that I'm going to be able to catch up to this pawn at some point, probably with my king. And so he moves back to protect. And here, I just go, keeping it simple. Okay, I'm just going to attack this pawn. Of course, if he advances. So white did resign at this point here, but you can see here if he advances it, that I could just go ahead and grab it with my king maybe. So pretty straightforward. And my point behind showing these games, or this game, of course, is to give you a little more meat for this video, but also to demonstrate that the importance of simple tactics. Okay, a lot of your games, a lot of my games, are won and lost by just losing a pawn here or there or blundering. Okay, we do want to study strategy. We do want to study end games. As you know, I love the end game. We want to study where to put our pieces. Okay, that's where positional play and all of these strategies, our openings, come in. But the foundation of it is tactical soundness. So if you play a move for a strategic reason, it has to survive the scrutiny of tactics. You got to make sure you're not going to lose any material. In fact, I was talking to a grandmaster the other day, and he said, you can really do whatever you want as long as you don't blunder. I mean, and you can be as subjective as you want about the position. And we were talking about different openings, and you have to play mainline openings. And the whole idea there is that, especially at lower levels, which I would say, master and below, maybe even grandmaster and below, you could pretty much play any fairly sound opening with its various strategic ideas, as long as you can get a game out of it. As long as you're not going to be, there's some openings where you're sacrificing 2 pawns and you have some type of initiative, but after an initiative's lost, you're just 2 pawns down. And those of you who plays those I used to play a lot of gambits, and what happened is I played stronger players is that I would get some type of development lead or initiative, but they would defend, and it would be uncomfortable for them. But after that, I was just a pawn down or 2 pawns down for very little compensation. So as much as I still will sacrifice pawns for the initiative and such, but you want to make sure that your basic play is sound on a tactical level. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to close the video, and I hope you enjoyed this edition of Climbing the Chess Ladder, and I will see you next week. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit that like button and let me know what you thought in the comments. This video was a little bit shorter, but I hope you guys still got something out of it and definitely saw the importance of training those tactics, especially those basic patterns. If you're new to this channel, Better Chess Training is about helping you to improve your chess. And I think chess improvement's a journey, and I'd love for you to join my journey, and I'd love to be a part of yours. So consider subscribing, and I hope to see you soon.